What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dolphins Daily, your daily dose of Dolphins content with your boy Chris Kane. Let's talk about the Dolphins. If you watched yesterday's episode, I was very happy the Dolphins signed Matthew Judon, but I definitely said, hey, if we have money for defensive end, why can't we sign a cornerback? And I guess somebody in the front office must have heard me because the Dolphins went out and signed Cameron Dantzler today. You may not remember him vividly. I actually remember watching him play. He played for the Vikings from 2020 to like 2023. Uh, wasn't great, wasn't bad. He started 26 games, so he started a number of games. He was the number 2 or 3 corner at various times. He has most recently been in the UFL. So I guess we're just rating the UFL teams now. His second day in a row, second UFL player. This is not a needle mover in any sense of the word, right? It's a story. It's a player. He's only 26, so he's young enough that maybe there's something redeeming about him. He was in the league in 2024, and he played with Buffalo. He played with the Commanders. He played with one other team I don't remember at the top of my head, but none of them he made like any impact. So he'll be on the team for a couple weeks, get cut, picked up, cut, picked up, cut. Hasn't really made an impact. In his whole career, he has 3 picks. So not necessarily a game breaker. Not someone I even really expect to be competing for a job for real. Could be a special teams guy. If we have any more injuries, then yes, I guess maybe he can make it to the lineup. But if he's playing, that probably is not a good thing because if you're a 26-year-old corner in the NFL and then you end up playing UFL, that means that the whole league saw you and thought, nah, not NFL quality. Because the UFL is not, you know, it's not like arena football, which is, has its perks and not perks, I guess. UFL, they play more like how the NFL plays, but a handful of guys a year get called back to the NFL. So for him to not make any team's roster where most teams carry 6, 7, 8 guys in the secondary, that is probably not the best thing in the world. Um, Especially considering he was coach under Brian Flores at one point, and Brian Flores is still in the league. So if Brian Flores thought he was good, maybe he would have been like, "Hey, let's get that kid back over here." I don't expect much from this. I'm happy that we made some moves because we definitely need bodies for the game, a third preseason game. I don't know who's going to play, who's not going to play. They haven't really announced that part yet. I don't think anyone other than I guess Mike Hilton in the slot has like really been solidified in their position. Obviously, Minka Fitzpatrick, of course. But aside from that, I think it's kind of like that third game might very much determine who is how the pecking order comes down. Because it's been a lot of all right, Cam Smith is good here, sure feels good here. Like, you know, I know Ashton, is he gonna come back? Like, there's a lot of stuff happening right now. So we made a move. I don't believe it to be super impactful, but a move nonetheless. So you get like a little golf clap for making a move. So we'll take that. Week one, we were playing the Colts, and up to now, we didn't know what the Colts starter was going to be. I think I speculated it would be Daniel Jones like a few weeks back, mostly because Anthony Richardson just refuses to be a consistently good quarterback. Never seen anybody with more talent just say, "Nah, I'm good." And he's a Gator, so no slander to Anthony Richardson. I want him to be good, just not week one. Aside from that, I wish him the best. But one, he's been injured, so that's part of it. And two, he just really hasn't seemed to get any better. So Daniel Jones will be starting week one against the Dolphins. I don't know how you feel about Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is not a good player, but can still beat you. So he's in that. He's better than Kenny Pickett, but not as good as to me. It's like a Mitchell Trubisky is right now. I know that's weird. People hate Trubisky. They think he's like the worst thing that happened to the Bears. He did go to the playoffs twice. Just random sidebar. I think Daniel Jones has all the talent to be very good. He just has demons, man. And I mean that like on a football field. He just starts seeing coverages where he just doesn't, I don't know, he makes inexplicable mistakes right when you want to believe in him, right when you're like, hey, he might be that guy. He'll just be like, nah, pick six. And it's like, why would you do that? He just won't be better. But if you don't get to him, he's tall, solid arm, much more athletic than you probably think. He will get out of there. He'll take off and run on you in a second. Now, so hopefully, but the Dolphins, I assume, have been prepping for a running quarterback because we thought Anthony Richardson could play. Daniel Jones is not Anthony Richardson. So we've been prepping to stop a quarterback that can run. I don't think Daniel Jones' athleticism is going to be something the team can overcome. He's a lesser version of what we thought he could be. But he's probably more accurate throwing the ball. In fact, that's the only reason why he will be playing because he's older with a worse arm and not as fast. But is more accurate. I guess healthier too. I don't. We'll see. I think the Dolphins week one, their biggest thing is Jonathan Taylor. That's what we're looking towards, right? We got to make sure that we don't let him kill us. But knowing definitively now that Daniel Jones is the starter, I that puts more pressure on the secondary, honestly. Because Anthony Richardson, outside of a 70-yard bomb, perfectly dropped over the shoulder, which is always on the board with AR. Those little intermediate routes, like I will be playing press man all game against Anthony Richardson because there's no way he's consistently making tight window throws. No chance. If I'm in that wide receiver's back pocket where I can reach across and knock the ball down, and he's got to pinpoint the ball on the outstretched hands from a cornerback consistently, he can get it off once or twice, and he might even do a sidearm on one foot with just like the freak athlete he is. But if he has to consistently in third and five, third and six, stand in the pocket and make pinpoint throws, no chance for Anthony Richardson. Daniel Jones, better chance. I don't think he's good, but he's a better quarterback and he's better at that particular thing. I think Daniel Jones is more likely to stand in there, like let the rush do what it does, make a throw. I imagine his completion percentage would be better. He just won't get as many splash plays. So this is actually a pretty decent matchup for our secondary for week one because we're not going against a high flying pass attack. I do not believe in Michael Pittman. I never have. Josh Downs is solid, but I never believe in Michael Pittman. So I don't believe they have a singular receiver that's like, oh my God, how do we cover this guy? But Daniel Jones is just consistently more consistent, and he can. He will take off if you let him. So it's good that we have some clarity on who we're playing week one because if you had to like just roll the dice, I would have thought Anthony Richardson because he's like kind of the franchise guy. They haven't paid him real money yet, but he's a top five pick. But they must be seeing enough in camp to be like, hey, he either is not healthy or he's not better, which doesn't make any sense. He's had every reason to be better than he was. But Daniel Jones week one, so as a Dolphin fan, I'm excited. I mean, I didn't think either way we were going to be in trouble. I think these are not particularly great quarterbacks, but they can sneakily get you. So we got to lock in. I mentioned we have a number of people who are allegedly coming back for week one, and I only say allegedly because I don't believe teams when they talk about injury reports generally. I think I know they can get fined by the league and all that, but they make so much money in football that it's in their best interest to just lie sometimes. Like, hey, I'll take a $10,000 fine so you guys don't know somebody's playing or someone's not playing. Just the time you have to game plan for a player who not is not playing might be worth a 10K. But Darren Waller, according to Coach McDaniel, could possibly come back this week. He said he's been doing a ramp up. He's been conditioning. He said he could come back this week, and he said in the back of his mind, it's Coach McDaniel, in the back of his mind, he will be back this week. Then he said, but I don't want to rush him back because I said he could be back this week, which I don't know what to do with that. I don't. He's like, hey, my mind's playing this week, but just gotta say it playing this week. Don't mean he is playing this week, so don't expect him back this week. But he might play this week. It's very Coach McDanielism, where you're left like, well, is he coming back or is he not coming back? Like that's the question. I am inclined to believe that he will be at practice this week. I am inclined to believe that they want him to dress out for the last preseason game. That's where I'm leaning here. So I think the reason why is like I don't want to guarantee. I don't think Coach McDaniel wants to bring him back and practice this week and then not play him in the preseason game. So I think that's where the bet is being hedged. I don't think it's like he's so deconditioned he can't come back to the field. I don't I don't understand what that is. Like I don't he's not going to be playing enough for to me for his conditioning to be really tested. I imagine if he comes and plays, let's do my scenario. He plays this week, let's say Wednesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we have a joint practice with the Jaguars coming up. He plays a couple practices in limited action, right? He plays in a couple maybe goal line packages, maybe a couple third downs, whatever. Then in the game, we have a specific few routes we want to see him run. Like just like we're almost calling plays to see him run the route. Doesn't even matter what option B, C, and D are. Like on the line, can he like chip the D in, like do a little shake and bake, get outside? We just want to see how quickly can he get open, or is he looking slow? Is he getting pushed around by the linebacker? Like we just want to see how he moves. I imagine he will have a number of routes they want to see him run because those are the routes we're going to want him to run during the year. How well does he get to the seam? How fast can he snap his head around? How well can he get that chip off? Can he stay in and block a couple times? I think he's going to just get tested there. I don't believe he'll play more than 15, 20 plays. I don't believe this will be something that this is going to be like a long, drawn out process. He will be tired because he might have more adrenaline going, like just like the my first game in a year and a half. Like there'll be that energy of it. But this is a preseason game has different energy than a regular season game. Just the stakes are basically nothing, and he's already on the team. He's not in danger of being cut. So it's not like I'm playing for my career, which could have his own anxiety. I think he'll come in like 15 plays more or less, and we'll see him run a couple routes. You might see him catch a couple passes. I would love us to get in the red zone and have him do some red zone work because that's where I think he could really shine. We don't have that many big receivers, and Nick is our biggest receiver, and Darren is bigger than him. So if you could be our biggest threat in the red zone, do that. One of my favorite tight end routes where they come up field, break, and then hit that back pylon. So the quarterback can throw the ball basically high for the tight end. And if he misses the tight end, it just goes out of bounds. It's like it's the as a quarterback, that's like the best thing in the world. Hey, either my tall guy in the back of the end zone catches it, or it's hit a fan is catching it. Maybe the mascot. But there's no chance of like a DB out jumping my tight end. So I'm gonna throw that ball almost to like the bottom of the goalpost. Where like what's the guy that played for Miami that would dunk all the time? Tight end. Can't think of his name right now. But he would always dunk. Like if you throw it right near that yellow bar, that's what I'm looking. Go up there, Darren. Go get me some money. He drops it. Okay, fine. Catches it. We got some money. That's what I'm expecting. So I do think he'll be back. I don't think Coach will bring this up because he could have just not really talked about it. He's already said he's going to play week 1, so he could have kind of avoided it. But he brought it up. I do think he will be back this week. I think he'll be limited in practice. He may not even really be super involved in a joint practice, but I do think he'll make the field this week, and then we can see how he looks in our uniform. We don't really jump into the rumor game that much. I might recklessly speculate, which I guess is kind of like a rumor, but this rumor is not started by me. So I wanted to bring it up today because by the time you see this tomorrow, we will see what happens. There is a rumor that Asante Samuel Jr. is meeting with the Dolphins today. Now we'll say this has been dispelled by Barry Jackson, Adam Schefter. Other high level people are not confirming the story. They're saying he's not meeting, he's not meeting. This is what I know to be true. Anytime something is leaked to the media, someone wants it to be leaked. People aren't like just finding stuff out randomly. Like we don't have deep investigator journalists looking into the Miami Dolphins. That's not really what we are. If something is leaked out, like, hey, possibility of someone joining the Dolphins, that's not put out by us. That's either put out by Asante's camp because he's still unsigned and he wants to play for the Dolphins and he thinks the money might be there, or it's put out by our camp, testing the waters, whatever, whatever. But Barry Jackson did say the Dolphins have remained in contact with Asante this whole time and that they're doing their due diligence, monitoring the situation, which to me is like we're doing low level negotiations. Neither of us has really moved off our spot. We're almost in the season. Either Asante thinks we're going to balk and lower and go up in our price, or we think his desperation is going to kick in. He's going to go down on his. He hasn't been signed. I haven't really heard any news about anyone else coming to sign him. So we have been in contact with him. That's been confirmed by Barry Jackson. So it's not that part isn't a rumor. There's some back and forth happening here. Even after Papa Asante was out here talking reckless. So the fact that there's already been communication behind the scenes, we're getting to our last preseason game. We just signed another cornerback today. Ethan Bonner just got hurt in the last game. Don't know how severe that is. It makes sense that we will. It makes sense that we will meet with him. Now, the meeting could be virtual. Like they say, meeting with Miami today, but that could be a phone call. That could be a Zoom. I do not believe he's in Miami because it's hard to fake that. Like there are people watching owners and coaches drive up into the airport. Like we'll see Coach McDaniel in the airport. Like, and that guy looks familiar. It's like we know who you are. We've already met with him and done physicals and gone through all the preliminary stuff to sign him. So this to me will be more like a, hey, you still stuck on that price or you not stuck on that price? Or what can we do signing bonus wise? Or like we're doing like extended negotiations. Maybe we left, he's here, we're here, and that gap is gapping. So it's like, hey, last time I talked to you, you were here. Can you it's like when people are buying a house, like I want 1.5. Can you do 1.3? No. But they might come down to 1.4. And it's like, okay, at 1.4 was actually my price all along. It may be a situation like that. I do believe that there is maybe smoke to this fire because I've thought this whole time. The fact that he hasn't been signed by anybody else, he's probably getting a little desperate. I mean, the season's about to start. I don't know what kind of football shape he's in. So if he waits until the year to actually get signed, he will still have to ramp up for probably a few weeks. If he signs with the Dolphins this week, let's say another hypothetical situation in my mind, he signs with the team this week. He obviously won't play in the third preseason game, but then he has basically 3 weeks to get in shape for the first game, and that to me is a decent run up for a cornerback. I assume he's in decent shape already. We already did a physical with him and still offered him a deal. So if he has shown that he was injured or not like in shape, I don't think he would have gotten an offer in the first place. That makes sense to me. It depends on how desperate the Dolphins are. Like the fact that we went out and signed Matthew Judon and spent money is a little concerning to me financially because that money could have been a 1 year Asante Samuel kind of deal. Again, I like Matthew Judon, but we were talking about we're not spending money, we're not spending money, we're not spending money, and then we went out and spent money. So it's like, all right, so we're spending some money apparently. We will see if there's smoke to this fire. These are rumors. Again, reckless speculation, but not from me. This is what people are saying on the ground. I hope this is true because that means that we could be signing him and he would become instantly our number one corner. And that makes our secondary instantly look like a real secondary. Asante might be a number two corner in regular life, but for us, he's for sure number one corner. And just adding him, all of a sudden, the defense looks a little bit more reasonable. We think the D line is going to be solid to good this year, especially on the edges. The guys in the middle look like they got some heft now. O line, who knows? Guys are hurt. Corner, wide receivers, we know what they are. Two in the running game. If they're healthy, they're good. Secondary, we will see. So these are rumors, not started by me, but I hope it's true. And if it is, we will let you know here. And hopefully, we'll be reporting sooner than later. The Dolphins have signed Asante Samuel Jr. But only time will tell. But as always, guys, thank you for tuning in to Dolphins Daily. We appreciate the love and support. Thank y'all for the likes and subscribes. We will see you next time on Dolphins Daily. Peace.